What if I told you that the most beautiful love stories begin not with a ring or a wedding dress, but with two strangers who dare to believe in magic under a sky full of falling stars? Picture this, a crowded city street on a warm summer evening. Thousands of people rushing past each other, lost in their own worlds, when suddenly time stops for two people who have never met before. She was walking alone after another disappointing date, wondering if true love was just a fairy tale. Her friends told her to keep her spirits up. He was standing on the corner having just left a jewelry store empty-handed, because he realized he was about to propose to someone who didn't make his heart race anymore. The stars began to fall that night, not real meteors, but something even more magical, the kind of moment that changes everything forever. You don't have a ring, and I don't have a bride, he said, with the most genuine smile she had ever seen, extending his hand toward this complete stranger who somehow felt like coming home. This is the story that millions of people wish they could live the moment, when two souls recognize each other across the noise and chaos of modern life. But here's what nobody tells you about these magical moments. They don't just happen to other people, they happen when you finally understand what you've been looking for all along. She took his hand that night under those falling stars, not because she was desperate or lonely, but because something deep inside her whispered, "This is it, this is what all those love songs were trying to tell you about." They walked for hours through streets they had walked alone 1,000 times before, but everything looked different now. The streetlights seemed warmer. The night air carried promises instead of just the smell of exhaust and fast food. He told her about the ring he almost bought for the wrong person, and she told him about all the dates that felt like job interviews instead of the beginning of something beautiful. By sunrise, they knew they had found something that most people spend their entire lives searching for, not just attraction, not just compatibility, but that rare and precious thing called recognition, when your soul meets its match and says, "Yes, this person understands the language I speak." But this isn't just a story about one night under the stars. This is about what happens next. Because anyone can fall in love in a moment of magic. The real question is, what do you do when Monday morning comes? They chose to build something real together, not just a relationship, but a partnership where they could grow into the people they were meant to be. 6 months later, he bought a ring, not because he felt pressured or because it was time, but because he couldn't imagine his future without her laughter filling every room they would ever share. She said yes, not to a proposal, but to a promise to create a life where falling stars were just the beginning of their magic together. 1 year later, they had a wedding that felt like a celebration, not just of their love, but of the courage it takes to trust a stranger with your heart. But here's the part that will give you chills. On their wedding night, as they danced to their first song as husband and wife, the stars began to fall again, not just one or two, but hundreds of them, painting the sky with light, as if the universe itself was celebrating the moment. When two people proved that sometimes the most beautiful love stories begin with nothing but faith. Now I know what you're thinking, this sounds too good to be true. Love like this only happens in movies and romance novels. But what if I told you that this exact same magic is waiting for you right now? Today, at this very moment, the person who will change your life forever might be sitting 3 tables away at your favorite coffee shop, or standing behind you in line at the grocery store, or living in the apartment building you walk past every day. The difference between people who find this kind of love and people who don't isn't luck or timing or being in the right place at the right time. It's about being brave enough to see the magic in ordinary moments, and wise enough to recognize when someone is offering you their heart. Every single day you have the opportunity to be the person who smiles at a stranger and changes both of your lives forever. You could be the one who sees someone sitting alone and decides to say hello instead of walking past. You could be the person who believes that love stories like this are possible, not just for other people, but for you. But it starts with understanding what you're really looking for, because most people are searching for someone to complete them when what they really need is someone to complement them. The difference is everything. When you look for someone to complete you, you're looking for someone to fill the empty spaces in your life, to fix what you think is broken about yourself. But when you look for someone to complement you, you're looking for someone who enhances what is already beautiful about your life, someone who makes your strengths stronger and helps you grow through your challenges. She wasn't looking for someone to rescue her that night. She was looking for someone to adventure with. He wasn't looking for someone to fix his loneliness. He was looking for someone to share his fullness with. This is why their story began with falling stars, because they were both complete people who chose to create something even more beautiful together. And this is exactly what you can create in your own life, starting right now, today. The first step is falling in love with your own life so completely that when the right person comes along, they want to join your adventure, not rescue you from your circumstances. The second step is being open to magic in the most ordinary places, because love rarely announces itself with fireworks and orchestras. Usually it whispers hello through a shared laugh over spilled coffee or a conversation with someone who sees the world the same way you do. The third step is having the courage to take someone's hand when they offer it, even when you don't know where the path will lead, because the most beautiful destinations are always found by people brave enough to take the first step into the unknown. Right now, as you listen to these words, someone somewhere is getting ready to meet the love of their life. Someone is about to have a conversation that changes everything. Someone is about to discover that the person they've been waiting for has been waiting for them too. Why shouldn't that someone be you? Why shouldn't tonight be the night you decide that your love story gets to be just as magical as any fairy tale ever written? The falling stars are still out there waiting for you. The person who will make your heart race is still out there living their life and wondering when they will meet someone who gets them all. The pieces are already in motion. You just have to be brave enough to play your part, so tomorrow when you wake up, I want you to remember this story. Remember that the most beautiful love begins not with perfect circumstances, but with two imperfect people who decide to create something perfect together. Remember that your person might not come with a ring, and you might not come with all the answers, but if you come with an open heart and the willingness to believe in magic, you have everything you need. Remember that love is not something that happens to you, it's something you create with another person. One choice at a time, one day at a time, one falling star at a time. Your story is waiting to be written. Your falling stars are waiting to light up your sky. Your person is out there right now, maybe wondering if someone like you really exists. The question is, are you ready to take their hand when they offer it? Are you ready to say yes to the adventure of a lifetime? Are you ready to discover that the love you thought only existed in movies and stories is actually waiting for you in real life? Because I promise you, it is. And when you find it, when those stars start falling just for you, you'll understand why. Every heartbreak and every disappointment was actually preparing you for this moment. This is your invitation to believe in magic again. This is your reminder that the best love stories are still being written, and yours could begin tonight, under your own falling stars. So if this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that magic is still possible, if it made you believe that your perfect love story is still waiting to unfold, then I want you to do something for me. Share this with someone who needs to remember that love like this is real, like this video. If you believe that everyone deserves to find their person under their own falling stars, and subscribe, because I share stories like this every week, stories that remind us that magic is still alive in this world for people brave enough to look for it. Your love story is coming. Your falling stars are on their way. All you have to do is keep your heart open and your eyes on the sky, because sometimes the most beautiful things in life begin with nothing more than a stranger who smiles and takes your hand. And who knows, maybe tonight, as you look up at the stars, you'll see them starting to fall just for you.